speeches on the floor of the Nigerian Senate via ANALYSE news channel, but I didn't catch the whole of it. I read that my friend and brother, Senator Ningi, has been suspended for 3 months. I don't understand. I'm not aware that they gave him a chance either to defend himself or to apologize if indeed he was found out to have spread lies. So before you suspend someone, I would expect that you would at least carry out full investigations and allow the person in question to defend himself. They are always my friend. Of course, leaders are friends. It's followers who break their own heads. They break their own heads for no reason. Leaders are friends. It doesn't mean that because someone is your friend, you cannot tell them the truth. There is, at my age, by the grace of God, I'll be 64 very soon. If I don't have friends across political divides, then I've wasted my youthful days. And as a journalist, anyway, we speak to everybody. But what is most important is your ability to speak truth to power, no matter who is in power. Your ability to speak truth to them is what makes you a man. God made me a man. I am not a slave, no matter who is in power, no matter how much money I stand to gain or lose. I make sure I speak truth to power. That doesn't make us enemies. There is nothing people have not said, oh, Tinubu is your friend, you should go, we are sure you will join them very soon in Aso Rock, blah, blah, blah. Not me, you will wait. It's like waiting for Godot. If you read Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. So it's like waiting for Godot. I'm not that kind of person. I did not support Tinubu during his campaign. I am not a member of APC. So why should I now say I want to benefit from the government? The government that I believe is having too many issues with Nigeria. So there is nothing for me in APC. I'm just not interested. I'm in my house. Right now, I've brought a book for me to read. You can see how big this book is. So I brought a book for me to read while I am here. And that is the way I live my life. I live a life of contentment, a life of peace and tranquility. I am not desperate for anything. Even God will ask me, Dele, what else do you want me to do for you that I have not done? So, you have a good family, you have a good business, you have good health, not minding the fact that right now I'm down with flu. That's the only thing I get from time to time, and that's due to lack of adequate rest. I am working round the clock. So, what is attractive to anybody? Yes, it's good if you have the opportunity to serve your country, but you must be convinced that the government in power is very serious about changing Nigeria for the better. But from what I'm watching on television from here, I'm not sure about that. Is Atiku floating a new NAIJA party, sir? I know that politicians are speaking and discussing across political divides. They must. That's what opposition should be. It's nothing personal. Anybody who is proud of where Nigeria is today might not support them, but those of us who are uncomfortable with the way Nigeria is going, we must all talk and find a solution, because it's our country. It's nothing personal. Babs Sonya, how are you, sir? Ekaso. So, Atiku be the serious man to fix Nigeria? Oh, certainly, yes, why not? Excuse me. In the days of tribulations, you run to the elders of the house, because the elders might not have as many new clothes as the younger ones, but they definitely have more rags, and we're talking about experience and exposure. There is nobody in the political system today who is more experienced and more exposed than Atiku Abubakar. And there is also something about Atiku Abubakar, which is the fact that unlike most politicians who are parasites on the system, Atiku Abubakar left government in 2007 as vice president, and since then he's been able to manage his own business empire. He has managed his family. He does not have a single governor that he controls in the whole of Nigeria where he can run to and be begging or forcing them to give him money. So we must begin to encourage our politicians to have businesses that they do. The reason why politics becomes a matter of life and death is because people don't have any business. Why do you think I'm able to sit in my home and not bothered about what they are doing in Abuja? It's because I have a business. And no matter how little money I am raking in, I'm making something that can sustain me, my team, and my many dependents. So that is what I admire in Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, his ability to run a business. If all our politicians can run their own businesses, trust me, there will be less pressure on the treasures of Nigeria. But today, most people go to politics because they believe that it is the quickest way to making money, which is very unfortunate. So nobody is perfect. I'm not saying Atiku is perfect. Dele Momodu is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But Atiku has demonstrated immense capacity to survive on his hard-earned income and not on the state. Imagine how many years ago he left office and he's still able to survive. They've attacked his businesses, black and blue, yet he's still standing like the Iroko tree. And he believes in the rule of law. You will never see a political thug in front of Atiku's house. Never. He will not promote thuggery. He will not promote banditry. He will not promote, he is too cosmopolitan. In fact, that's what some people have against him. That how can a man be this squeaky clean, that nothing moves him to desperation? He's not a desperate politician. And I can say that very confidently. I've worked with him very closely in almost 2 years. And I now know him better than I ever did. And I'm so impressed that we have such a man of composure, a man of immense means, and a man who is able to love his country so passionately. So I hope that answers those who have been asking about Atiku Abubakar. Do you know Atiku Abubakar than Baba Obasanjo? Well, I will give you a Yoruba saying that Ijalode Loridowe. In the days of two fighting, every song becomes a proverb. Whatever Baba wrote or said about Atiku at one time or the other, I've also seen what he wrote and said about him thereafter. So don't forget that Baba Obasanjo endorsed Atiku in 2019, and I was not yet a member of PDP at the time. And he said it. It's there on video. You can go on YouTube. So the same white man who did the pencil also did the eraser. So the same Baba who said whatever he said about Atiku also had kind words to say about him. And I'm sure today, many of us, until you try, a woman tries two husbands. Sometimes a woman does not know which one is better. So now we know the difference. So that's it.